Now we are moving on to the inaugural ceremony, and I take the real pleasure to invite the dignitaries onto the dais for the same. I'd like to invite Dr. Shashikumar M., President, ICC Kerala Chapter, onto the dais. Let's invite.
A warm welcome to Thiruvananthapuram. So, after several years, a major cardiology meeting has finally came back to Thiruvananthapuram. It's a very nice day out there and a very good ambience inside the hall. It is really happy and enlightening to see all the dear friends and teachers assembled here. We know that in this field of information technology, the information is always available at your fingertips. So people may find what is the need of attending conferences like this. And in the future holds even bleaker because now the chatbots are available. That is there to take care of whatever lack of knowledge that you have. But still, the face-to-face interactions, the building up of the camaraderie, the seeing your old friends, and bridging the network is even more important as the times goes on. So, dear friends, the meetings are important, and we should attend these kind of meetings and should have a face-to-face interaction between our friends. So, with this short introduction, let me go to my proper duties. I am sure that none of you require any special introduction to the dignitaries assembled over this stage. First, I would welcome our dear President, the dynamic President, Dr. Shashikumar sir, to this stage on the behalf of ICC and on behalf of all the members of the organizing committee. I extend a warm welcome to our dear President, Dr. Shashikumar sir. Dear friends, we have the chief guest here. It's none other than our national president of ICC, Dr. Jayagopal sir. Sir, I extend my warm welcome on behalf of the ICC and the organizing committee to you, sir. Welcome, sir. And then I would like to welcome our incoming president, the dynamic scientific committee chairman of today's meeting, Dr. Vinod Thomas. So I also welcome Dr. Vinod Thomas to this meeting. I will cut short the rest of the things. So a warm welcome to my dear friend and secretary, Dr. Placid, the treasurer, Sujay Ranka, and you can see the dynamic organizing committee chairman, Dr. Arshad. A warm welcome to all of you. And no meeting is complete without the participation of the delegates. So we can see that in spite of the difficult time, a good number of delegates has come here from all parts of the Kerala. So a very warm welcome to all of you. Thank you. Jai ICC.
Thank you. Thanks for making this event a very graceful one by spreading the light. Yes, and now may I request Dr. Shashikumar M to do the inaugural address.
Ladies and friends, I thought Mangalanandan is going to give us a heavy tea with a lot of pastries and cake. And I thought, following that, it will be right for me to speak on triglycerides. I think as President of the Indian College of Cardiology, I need to speak a few words. I'm immensely happy to see that the Indian College of Cardiology is progressing from pillar to pillar over the years. Scientifically, academically, and socially, we have become closer and more progressive. I must say that every year the scientific content of the conference is becoming increasingly popular. And I congratulate the organizing committee and the scientific chairman for including so many topics of great interest. And without prolonging the talk, I declare this conference as open and inaugurating this conference. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, let's invite our beloved ICC National President, Dr. Jayagopal PB, for the keynote address. Thank you.
President of the ICC, Dr. Shashikumar, the Secretary, Treasurer, and all the office bearers, my dear senior colleagues and dear friends. It's a proud moment for me to stand before you and address this state conference. I really go back to the past history of ICC. The ICC had its root in the early 90s, and I happened to be one of the founder members when Dr. Sadaksharappa had the brilliant idea of those days that this should be an organization mostly for the cardiologists. And at that point of time, it was thought that people with a cardiology degree or an MCH, cardiac surgeons, were an integral part, and even anesthetists. So that's how it came back, and we're happy to tell you that we are celebrating our 30th year, and this year it's going to be one of the major conferences in Bangalore. So, and I'm indeed happy that the ICC Kerala chapter was born when subsequently, and then it's really grown in structure. And when you compare with other chapters in the country, it's gratifying to see that this has really grown big and has been doing a commendable work. I mean, none of us have any doubt about the educational capabilities and the kind of quality of work and the deliberations and the conferences that we hold in Kerala, for that matter. I think we have always been a role model, and I think ICC should continue to strive for that, and I really think that we should take this to much further heights. But I think one of the areas where I really want people to really, at least the organizing part of it from the state, is to think of doing something which will make us nearer to the public and probably dearer to the public. And that I would think it will be in terms of some measures, public education. For example, I had an opportunity to be at the ACC Board of Governors meeting once, and then the whole emphasis was on the advocacy and advocacy that you're trying to give it to the government. So I think at this point of time we have still no kind of influence on any policy decisions, and I think this is the opportunity for us to really work hard and then do something. I must congratulate Dr. Shashikumar for having done a wonderful work this year. I think a very, very novel way of initiating public health education to school children. In fact, he targeted 11th standard students this year. And of course, I couldn't do much, but then we were all so happy to be part of that. And I think there is no better way than trying to mold the younger generation into a much more disciplined society. So I think congratulate you once again, hats off to the ICC for such an initiative. So I don't really want to take too much of your time. The organization part has been done extremely well. Dr. Arshad, I think, a fantastic job, the real good ambience and the whole, and it's an educational feast. Dr. Vinod, I think you also done a tremendous job. I'm sure you're really spent a lot of time looking into everything. And I see a real good gathering. In fact, I was just mentioning to someone another day, I was one of the large interventional meetings in the country a few weeks ago with a lot of cases, a lot of faculty, but I think the hall was, even the main hall was looking relatively empty. So I think that's really disheartening. But today, I think when we have this kind of focus, smaller meetings and a camaraderie, I'm sure this will take us to much better heights and a better tomorrow. Thank you all. And ICC.
Thank you, sir, for your kind and encouraging words. Now, let me invite Dr. Vinod Thomas, Chairman, Scientific Committee, to address the gathering.
Respected dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, thank you all for coming for this conference. And we have a very good scientific agenda, and we have a pretty good number of faculty and delegates. So my only request is, please avoid, the hall is divided into two halves. The second half is for lunch and this thing only. My only request is for the faculty and delegates is that please avoid cross talks with industry people just behind the hall, so that the background noise is a little bit high. So my request is, if we can avoid that talk, the industry people will go outside. That is their designated area. So I request the industry people and all the faculty and delegates to avoid cross talks in the second half of the hall. The industry area is outside the hall, so that will help to maintain the sanctity of the conference. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, may I request Dr. Placid Sebastian, Secretary ICC Kerala Chapter, to speak a few words.
Respected President, ICC Kerala, Dr. Shashikumar, Chief Guest of the Day, Dr. Jayagopal, ICC National President, the senior dignitaries on the dais, faculty members, and delegates of ICC. It was an eventful 2 years of ICC Secretary's post I held for the last 2 years. The first year, I had the leadership of Dr. Binu. We conducted the ICC State Conference at Taj Bekal in an explanatory manner by Dr. Ramakrishnan as an organizing secretary. And ICC for the last 2 years have done quite a lot of public work, as well as we had a membership drive. We enrolled another 30 members, and the total strength of the ICC is now around 170. And I'm sure the next organizers and next executive members and members of the ICC will take it up to 300. And also an important event which took place last year was our national conference. And the organizing committee has done a wonderful job, and it was one of the best rated ICC meeting. And this year also, I think the organizing committee has done a good job with a good scientific content and excellent venue. I thank you all for coming to this meeting and making it a big success. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now, let me invite Dr. Arshadem, Organizing Secretary, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good morning, respected teachers and dear friends and colleagues. I really consider this as a journey which I never traveled after my 10th standard. And so after completing this, in fact, it's probably a 10 months journey. After completing this, I'm feeling only one feeling, gratitude towards a lot of people. In fact, I have listed a lot of people here. And to start with, in fact, when Ashwin sir called me up 10 months back and told me, in fact, Arshad, whether you can do take the post of organizing secretary this year, in fact, straight away I said yes. But next day onwards, anxiety popped up. In fact, I really was not knowing, in fact, how I will conduct this because I didn't have any previous experiences. And that moment, in fact, two guys from Trivandrum, in fact, just called me up and said, Arshad, you don't have to worry. You just go ahead. We are there with you throughout. Right and left, it's none other than Dr. Binu and Dr. Mangalji and Mangalandan. And they really kept their word. In fact, all throughout, in fact, during these 10 months, in fact, they were with me right and left. And thank you, Dr. Binu and Dr. Mangalandan for that. And next, definitely another best thing which happened to me during this conference was our President-elect, Dr. Vinod Thomas. And of course, he is the scientific committee chairman also. And a very balanced person, as you all aware, in fact. And whenever I said something good, he said, Arshad, go proceed. It will definitely work with the people. And whenever I said something not very good, he say, no, Arshad, it won't work with the people. In fact, you just hold it on. So that way really, it really balanced the whole situation. And we really have a good conversation during this period. Our talks really extend from 11 o'clock at the night towards the midnight and past midnight also. But it was really good to have to make the scientific agenda with him. And I really am indebted to that for Dr. Vinod Thomas. And of course, I should thank the ICC Kerala the executive committee members also, whether it is President Shashikumar Sir, Secretary Placid Sebastian, Treasurer Dr. Sujay Ranga. All these people were, though they were working at a very distant place, but they were just a phone call distant. In fact, whenever I talked or whenever I called them for something, they instantly replied me with this help and any WhatsApping or something. In fact, they were instantly replied me with the help. And of course, I need to thank you for that, for all the ICC Kerala executive members. And then I should thank Trivandrum cardiology people. In fact, all the people, whenever I talk, whenever I approach them with any help, in fact, even for the industry meet, in fact, senior people turned up for that. In fact, thanks from the bottom of my heart for the Trivandrum Cardiology Group for being there with me throughout this journey. I should thank my own people at SK Cardiology, we used to call elder brother and younger brother, my elder brother Suresh sir and younger brother Harihara Subramaniam and the team of SK, whole team of SK nursing staffs or staffs, nurses and all, and junior doctors. In fact, they helped me immensely during this journey. And of course, the speakers, I should thank them. In fact, they had a long journey to reach Trivandrum. And so thank you, Dr. Anandaraman and Dr. Sai Sadish, who is going to come tomorrow, and for making this possible. And of course, all these conferences definitely involves a lot of financial things, and without pharma people, we really cannot do this. And all the pharma guys, in fact, when I approach, 90% of them approached with a positive manner, and we could gain, in fact, whatever which is possible for this conference. And thank you, pharma people, for the bottom of my heart. And of course, a word of appreciation or word of thanks to my family, my wife and kids. They were also there with me, and they were doing some clerical jobs and finding out, even helping me out in preparing some Excel sheets and all. They were, for the last 2 months especially, they were with me throughout. Thank you for that. And of course, I think the lubricant of the whole system was Mr. Anish. He was there throughout this whole journey, and he really made the things very simpler. And thank you, Anish, for that. And of course, I need to thank Mr. Moses and team for audiovisual, for the better audiovisual facility, and Sunita Menon from media, and Tennyson Group for the sound system, and Cameo Group Srijit for the light, and Sandeep for making the stage and the production work better, in whatever way best which is possible. And of course, I should thank the Axis Bank for the financial assistance, and also the Jibu Travels for the making fantastic travel arrangement, and Mr. Hidayatullah and the team of Hayat Regency. Hidayatullah is the manager for the team, and for arranging all the things possible, and they were with me throughout this journey. And last but not the least, in fact, I should thank all the audiences, in fact, sitting here, in fact. And as Jay Gopal sir has pointed out, in fact, I know that in fact there were some parallel conference, some way it collapsed, collided with some other conferences. But just by the announcement, only some people, even seniors, in fact, gave me a personal message saying that, Arshad, will be coming to the ICC cardiology, don't worry. And we really want to go for the other conference, but we will be skipping that for this year, in fact. That really shows how well our cardiology camaraderie is at our Kerala district. And thanks Almighty for making everything possible. Thank you.
Thank you everyone.